You're welcome to Issues at Hand this morning. Thank you so much for being a part of Church of Uganda Family TV, and we do appreciate your presence here with us. Now remember that we are also present on our social media platforms. That's at Church of Uganda Family TV on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook and YouTube, where we post these videos so you can continue interacting with them. But my name is Karo Amani, and on social media platforms you can find me at Karo Amani. And of course we are here to discuss security, as it is the norm every Friday. We do have officials from the Uganda Police Force that help us understand where we are security-wise. Now, of course, I've always told you that security begins with you as a person. What are you doing about the fact that you have to protect yourself at all times? Of course, security entails a lot of things, and one of the things that we are looking at today is domestic violence. Exactly what is domestic violence? How far with curbing the vice of domestic violence in our community as a country, Uganda? Now, of course, we know that levels of domestic violence are always going higher and higher because of different causes that we are going to look at shortly. However, I do have a guest in studio, and because of time, I'll just let him introduce himself, or I'll just let him say hi to us after introducing him. His name is Katumba Nathan, Superintendent of Police, Regional Community Liaison Officer, Kampala East. You're very welcome to studio this morning.
Thank you, moderator. I'm glad to be here. Let me hope that each and everyone who is listening to us will be attentive, shall share and discuss matters at hand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So what is the state of security currently in the country? If you were to put it in general terms, what would be the state of security in the country currently?
Apparently, the situation is normal and calm. A few crimes out there, but these are small crimes. The situation apparently is okay. Apart from certain crimes, such as these rampant domestic crimes, which we've witnessed in various areas of our country, but the situation is normal and calm, in line with security matters, apparently.
Okay.
Because when if you try to view months back, these other months, these other two months, we have had a calm situation in line with crime. The crime is reduced. When you go to various stations and view crime statistics, you realize that we've had less crime, especially in major stations around Kampala. Crime has reduced. Apart from these, maybe these other political things, which security is managing apparently in various districts. Yes.
What is the highest form of crime in Uganda? If you were to give an overview, what would be the highest crime?
The highest crimes committed apparently right now are these petty crimes, domestic violence, assault. These are the major crimes that have reduced. We've had a reduction in these other major crimes, but these other petty crimes are on an increase, like domestic violence.
Okay.
Yes, assault, petty crimes.
All right, and if we are to look at the criminal gangs, before we get to the domestic violence part of it, if we are to look at criminal gangs in Kampala, people who have been making Ugandans' lives uncomfortable, do you think that security has done enough to curb these people?
First and foremost, I would like to inform the public, security begins with you. We cannot operate in isolation. It is the public with police. If the public avails information in on certain black spots, because we shall deploy, but you cannot deploy in each and every place. You cannot deploy in each and every black spot. But we try as much as possible to see that we really cover. And we have done this through foot patrols around the villages, with the help of LCs, in various areas. So we've tried, but the public needs to give a very big upper hand in line with fighting crime. When they avail information, we shall act. When we don't get information and we get intelligence reports, we get intelligence information, we shall act. But the first line of intelligence, the majority of the community members are the first line of intelligence. Because when they give us intelligence, we act. Because the community is the majority. They are the majority. And they are the people who are in the communities out there. The police officers are part of the community, but they are scarce, they are few. You will find when a police post has few police officers. A police post has few police officers, but when it covers like 20 zones. So ideologically, when an OC is covering 40 zones or 30 zones or 20 zones, who is to give an upper hand in line with fighting crime? It is the community. They have to avail OC information so that OC acts. Yes, they have to give timely information, because you cannot avail information after crime. The OC will come or the police officers will come, but they will not do anything. So we need to give timely information. We need to give timely information to officers who are taking various areas where we have our community members. So when we do that, that is when we shall realize that crime is reducing. Crime will reduce. When we have a crime reduction, it is not magic. It is what have the people done? What has the police done? Yes, because the police has to intertwine with the people to see that we reduce crime in our areas. But if the people decide to sit with information and they don't avail police information, crime will be at an increase. Police will mitigate less, because it will mitigate what it has, or it will mitigate what it has got from its crime intelligence officers, who are few in the district. You will find when a district has like only 5 crime intelligence officers or 10. But we will find a community will be having like 300 or 400 or 500 people living in a community. So when you vary the 500 and the 5 or the 10 police officers, ideologically, practically, the only way to fight that crime is the 500 people should cooperate with police, should avail police information to see that we reduce crime. And various areas where crime has reduced, it is because of the community engagement. It's because of the good cooperation between people and the police. Thank you.
All right. So how does the community get to police? If somebody is out there watching us and they're wondering, if I have a tip, how do I get to the police officers and tell them there is some form of insecurity here that I've noticed?
Thank you. We usually have community engagements with the community. We usually have meetings with the community, and we share numbers with people. So whenever we share numbers, people call us. Whenever we have meetings with LCs and we give them numbers, after our meetings, after our security meetings, we tell the chairpersons to give our contacts to people out there, the ones whom they sit with in the village meetings. So that is how they get our numbers. So whenever they get our numbers, that is when they call. Others, the police is open, they come and get numbers from police. Someone comes and says, I need the number of the OC. We avail the number and he goes. Tomorrow when he gets a challenge in the community, the first thing he will call, then we shall react. Yes, that is how they get our numbers.
Okay. How about, do you think there are ways that an individual can protect themselves even before the police coming in? What are those ways that an individual can use to protect themselves against any form of harm?
When you look at the Constitution of Uganda, it gives powers to an individual to arrest. By the way, that is what the community, that is what usually people don't know. the Constitution of Uganda gives you powers. If there is crime somewhere, it gives you powers to arrest and inform. Yes? So when it gives you powers to arrest and inform, that means if there is crime somewhere, as a community, you can see how to mitigate it by stopping that person, or by getting that person. Then you call the OC, then you call the police officers of the area. So it is incumbent of you, a community member, if there is crime, yes, you can first fight crime by stopping it or by arresting that person. Then you inform the police. It may be hard for you to arrest and bring, but you can get someone with the help of the defense of the area. Yes, then the defense calls the OC, calls the other police officers, and they come and pick that person. So the community has really a very, very big upper hand in fighting crime in areas. Yes.
Do you think the LDU has a big part to play in this?
Yes, they have. Apparently, we might not have. We may, because we had LDUs, but they were integrated in UPDF. But we are yet to get. Other LD. We are yet to get more. They're going to give us more, because most of them are for training. After training, they are going to bring them back in the community. But apparently, if they are there like they were there before, they had a very, very big upper hand in fighting crime, because we used to intertwine the LDUs and police, because the main aim was fighting crime. So we used to intertwine with them and we fight crime. So apparently we have UPDF who are cooperating with us in line with fighting crime. We do foot patrols with them. We have intelligence. Army has officers who do intelligence. They intertwine their intelligence with the intelligence of police, and we see that we reduce crime. And we see that we avail information, then we reduce crime.
So let's get to the intelligence part of it. Do you trust the intelligence of Uganda, and do you think, not even trust, but do you think they are at the level where they've managed to do their work properly?
Yeah, apparently the government has invested a lot in crime intelligence. It is the only way to go. It is very easy to mitigate crime through crime intelligence. It is very hard for me to get information when I'm in uniform. But crime intelligence, they mix in the community. They come in a civilian attire. So it will be very hard for a criminal to know that these are security operatives. So it has really helped us a lot. It has helped us a lot, 90%. It has helped us in getting information and fighting crime. We usually have these boys who go out in jam and snatch people's bags, do petty crimes. Sometimes they even go as far as even getting these. They go on people's vehicles and try to get these small lights from vehicles. We have used crime intelligence to arrest those boys. We've deployed crime intelligence in traffic, and they have arrested those boys. Because for you, when you come in uniform, the boy will see you from a distance, and he will run. But when a crime intelligence officer comes, he will pretend as if he's passing, then you will arrest him. Then uniform will come and give backup. So intelligence has really helped us in reducing crime. But as I said before, the biggest asset in fighting crime is the community. Because when you look at the numbers, of people in the community, that is the intelligence that we have. So when we get intelligence from the big number of community members, automatically we shall react and reduce crime. So I urge people out there, please look at the benefits of police. Look at the benefits of police in your area. Police officers are human beings. We have police officers who are not up to the task, but we have supervisors who supervise them. In case you feel that there is something that you really feel has not been handled well, we have supervisors. We have the DPC, we have the RPC, we have the OCCID in charge of files. Go there and complain so that your issue can be ironed out. But when you keep quiet out there, that means tomorrow you'll not even give information to police, because you realize that when I went to police last time, I was not assisted on this and this and this. That means when crime happens in your area, tomorrow you'll not give information. So at the end of the day, we shall have a society with crime, with high levels of crime, which would not have happened.
Thank you. Do you think police as a body is corruption-free? Because we have police officers, we work with them, they help us to maintain law and order. They're everywhere in our community. But some police officers act in a way that is not up to the task, like you said. So I'm wondering, is Uganda police force corruption-free? Would you say that?
The issue of corruption, the issue of corruption, usually it is very hard. It is very hard because I cannot determine the level of corruption in police. Neither can I determine the level of corruption in other institutions. But if there is any officer who has exposed, if there is any officer who has been arrested in line with corruption, yes, it is very easy. There is anti-corruption, you can report. There is a DPC. Usually when the OC of the area is in charge of the area, because usually OCs are in charge of, the OCs are the ones in charge of the area. If you go at the station and you feel like there is something that they are asking which you think is not right, we have the OCs. And corruption, by the way, is funny. When you give to the officer and the officer receives, it will be a two-way. The officer will be charged and the other person will be what? Will be charged. So I urge the community out there, whenever you have an issue at police, please follow the right procedure. We shall avoid these things. We shall avoid corruption. Someone comes, they have arrested this person. The first thing he tells the police officer, I have 100,000. Release that person today. Release that person in 1 hour. At the end of the day, you begin inciting the police officer to get money from you. Yes? You begin inciting the police officer to get money from you. Police officers are human beings. Please stop inciting police officers to get money from you. If there is any crime, if your person has been arrested, follow the right procedure. If it necessitates for that person to get bond the following day, go to OCCID and request for bond through OCCID. They will give your person bond. But they have arrested the person now. After 1 hour, you come, you tell the police officer, I have 50,000, please help me. At the end of the day, you begin enticing the police officer to get what? To get caught in crime. So let's avoid such acts. Thank you.
All right. What is the role of private investigators in fighting crime, and does Uganda Police Force use private investigators?
No, private investigators have they have a different umbrella that takes them. The Constitution gives them also a mandate to investigate. They do private investigations, but in line with police. They can investigate on an issue and come out with a report, yes, an independent report in line with what happened. But at the end of the day, you will find we can sometimes compare. You compare and trust. They can do their private investigations and we can do ours.
Okay.
It does not mean that if does not mean that for us, if we have done ours, it is a must that we curtail them from doing theirs. No, we do ours, they can also do theirs. But but what we usually do, for us, after investigating, the destination is state. So we after investigating, after getting the facts on a crime, the file is taken to state. Then other people, if you're following, you go to state and you follow.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Let's get to domestic violence, which involves use of force on members of the family, for example, by hitting, beating, cutting, or other ways of causing pain to a person. Ways intended to cause suffering to a person is denying a person basic needs. It's also a form of domestic violence, or necessities of life, such as food, medical attention, or using of abusive language intended to humiliate the person. Now, there's an Act 2010 of the Uganda Constitution, an act to provide for the protection and relief of victims of domestic violence, to provide for the punishment of perpetrators of domestic violence, to provide for the procedures and guidelines to be followed by the court in relation to protection and compensation of victims of domestic violence. My first question would be, what is causing these rampant domestic violence issues?
Domestic violence is on rampage. It is happening in societies, but I think the biggest challenge is there are people who think that domestic violence is normal.
That what?
There are people who think that domestic violence is normal.
Oh.
Yes. Someone is denied something, and the husband tells him that, because I'll go in line with spiritual. Your husband tells you that you will not pray, you will not go to church. It will cause you psychological torture.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it will begin small. For you, you'll think that maybe he has refused me. For him, you'll think that it is normal to refuse her to go to church. Then she will begin building it in her misery. It will cause violence. Then the social part. There are people who are humiliated. Someone humiliates you in the public, and for him he thinks it is normal. Then tomorrow it will become a problem. Yes. Married couples, you pretend that you're so busy. You go for work. You come back when you're tired. But there are other conjugal rights which someone thinks that you have to fulfill. Tomorrow at the end of the day, you'll find when this other person who thinks that he or she has a right for this and you're not offering, will go out there and will look for what you cannot offer, yet you're married. At the end of the day, it will cause family what? It will cause domestic violence in family. So there are various ways where we ask ourselves, create domestic violence in our homes. There are very, very many ways. So we need to fight it. We need to fight it. We need to see to it that we fight it so that it reduces. It cannot be completely. We can't finish it completely, but we can at least fight it or reduce it in the community. Yes.
Okay. I think let's go for a short break. But before I go, I would like to mention that domestic violence is against the Ugandan law, and there is, as I was telling you, 2010 Act that was released on 9th April 2010, and it says a person in a domestic relationship shall not engage in domestic violence. A person in a domestic relationship who engages in domestic violence commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding exceeding 48 currency points, or imprisonment not exceeding 2 years, or in other cases, both of those punishments can be given to you. So please avoid domestic violence, for it is against the law. And some of you are going through domestic violence challenges, but you are unable to report to anywhere because, first of all, you are embarrassed to do so. You are embarrassed to go to, for example, child protection unit of the police and report those cases. But at the end of the day, you will lose your life if you do not report and stand up for yourself. But we shall take a short break and return with the more about domestic violence. Don't go away. We are powered by Protea Hotel by Marriott in Now, in case you're longing for comfort and luxury at its best, it is Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe, and they do tell you that they have very different cuisines in terms of food on their menu that you can go and check out with your friends and family. They also have accommodation in case you want to sleep in with your family and friends. Of course, they also have a health club with gym, sauna, steam bath, and a swimming pool at your luxury. If you want to access those services, they are in Entebbe, of course, a few steps away from the airport, and you will find Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. My name is Karamani. You're welcome back to Issues at Hand. We're still discussing the plight of domestic violence that is happening in Uganda. Now, the reported causes of domestic violence include lack of mutual trust, dispute over property, poor communication, lack of sexual satisfaction, alcohol or drug abuse, food insecurity, cultural norms and beliefs, character or personality, and marital infidelity, among others. Of course, as my guest has said, you cannot do away with domestic violence completely, but at least you can try to fight it and make sure that it is on a law in our community. My guest is Superintendent of Police, Katumba Nathan, and he's the Regional Community Liaisons Officer for Kampala East. And I'd like to start by asking, do you think that men also go through domestic violence?
Domestic violence cuts across. Domestic violence cuts across. Domestic violence is a family. Let me view it as a family and community problem. It can happen to each and everyone. Domestic violence can happen to a child, it can happen to a mother, it can happen to a father. So it is something that cuts across. It is something that cuts across. Because you'll find when a man thinks that he has to fulfill the conjugal rights with the woman, and the woman denies. But the woman may deny because of some reason. So a man may not want to know why the woman has denied him sex. But it may be because of some reasons. But the man may take it that the woman is just causing violence in the family and is denying him what he thinks he has to get. So at the end of the day, it can cause domestic violence. Yes. Usually we have a habit that when a woman is working, she does not want you to know what she's getting. So the man may take it personal. At the end of the day, he may think otherwise in line with what the woman is getting. It can be in line with inheritance. There are sometimes we have inheritance is cuts across. A woman can inherit property, a man can inherit property. So at the end of the day, you may find when a woman has inherited property and the man thinks that the woman's inheritance is part and parcel of him also. So at the end of the day, when maybe when she has made a decision, it can bring violence. So at the end of the day, the man may cause violence to a woman. Yes. So it cuts across.
Okay.
So it cuts across. Whether a man or a woman, domestic violence cuts across.
Okay. Since domestic violence is a crime, according to Part 2 of the 9th April 2010 Domestic Violence Act, if somebody goes through it, what are they supposed to do in case they want to report it?
First and foremost, if you feel there's domestic violence, if you see the signs of domestic violence like what we have said, go to the nearest police and report. We have the Office of Child and Family Protection Unit that is in charge of family affairs. Come to the police, tell us your problem. We have police officers who have done counseling. We shall invite the family and they will counsel you, because it's all about talking to people. People will go away and they will have change, and we shall follow it up. We shall follow it up, because we shall be inviting the family at police at various occasions. After like maybe a week, we tell you next week, please come back. We shall talk to you. We shall talk to you, and at the end of the day, trust me, we shall have change. So don't suffer with a problem out there and keep quiet. Please come to the police. We shall accommodate you well, and we shall talk to you. We shall invite the people whom you feel that have to be in that meeting. We shall talk and we shall harmonize the issues. If it really necessitates for us to call your parents, we usually call them and we sit as a family and we iron out these issues. So don't sit out there, because whenever you sit out there, it will the violence will build. At the end of the day, it will be very, very hard to fight when it is out of siege. Yes.
But in cases of extreme domestic violence, for example, somebody has cut off someone's arm, somebody has killed another person, we're seeing parents killing each other, and it's becoming a little bit rampant. What are some of the punishments police gives out to some of these people who become criminals in light of domestic violence?
But domestic violence cases, they can begin like domestic violence, but at the end of the day, it will be something else. We can have a file of domestic violence which will come from domestic violence to aggravated assault. Yes, to assault. Because when you pierce someone, when you cut someone with a knife, at the end of the day, it is beyond domestic violence now. It is purely criminal what? It is purely criminal matter. So at the end of the day, we shall take you on criminally. Yes, we shall take you on criminally, because you cannot pierce someone with a knife and you conceal in issues of domestic violence. At the end of the day, the file will shift from that to normal crime. So let's avoid that. Let's avoid these acts.
And
Yes.
what are the effects that police has witnessed over time, the effects of domestic violence? After domestic violence, then what normally happens? Is it breaking families up? Is there a change? What are the effects of domestic violence?
Of course, usually when domestic violence has gone beyond control, there are certain things that will happen. At the end of the day, you'll have family breakdown, you'll have murder. But whenever you have murder, at the end of the day, someone is arrested, someone is prosecuted, and someone is taken to court and prosecuted. At the end of the day, you find when the person who was supposed to take care of the home goes and is detained and is detained for some years, which will even cause issues at the families out there, because he's the one who was taking care of the family and he has gone to prison. So people out there will begin lacking. So it will be a two-way. They have detained you and even people lack. So at the end of the day, you will find when even the families are not stable. So let's really try. Let's cooperate with police and fight domestic violence. Yes.
Let's talk about the children who are affected in these cases of domestic violence. You find that a parent has maybe killed the other parent, and now the children have to suffer that kind of psychological torture. And does police cater for the children who have gone through some of these cases?
Yeah, police cooperates with. We have NGOs. We have NGOs that we cooperate with. In case there is domestic violence in a home and we feel that these children are not secure, we usually have homes. We usually have NGOs that we cooperate with that can take on these children to see that they take care of them in that time when there is rampant domestic violence. So we do that, and we take on these children sometimes, yes, so that we see that they don't lack.
Okay. Thank you. I'd like to end there about domestic violence, and then go on to another topic, which is the terror alerts that were recently in Uganda. What is your view on the situation of those terror alerts? 6 bombs were detonated around Kampala city, and that is a very dangerous thing to do, or thing to have in the community. What is your say about these terror alerts?
I just want to tell the people out there, the public out there, that terrorism is real. It is not fiction. It is real. We've been having intelligence. We were lucky through our crime. That's why I told you our crime intelligence officers are really to the task. We got early information about these terrorists who had an aim of putting bombs around Kampala to see that our people get issues. We got that information, and we went on TVs. We told the people, we sensitized the people on what they are supposed to do. We went in churches. We told people on what they are supposed to do, because we emphasized, like when you remember when the president emphasized that people were praying. Please, usually people who pray in churches know each other. So if you see a stranger out there, please try to ask the stranger, who are you? And it can be, and that is what we are trying to tell people. The message from the president. We really emphasized it, and people got the message and really fought so hard to see that these issues are reduced. So at least, if I'm to rate the percentage on how we fought terrorists in these last 3 weeks, I think we are at the epitome. We scored, if I can say, we scored 100%, because apparently you realize when we didn't have any issue of a bomb that maybe killed our people, but it was because of the efforts. It was because of the efforts of the community engagement and the response of people out there. The response of people out there was positive, to see to it that they cooperated with police. Whatever we told them, they really put it into practice. When the people of the bus people and in the bus terminals, they cooperated with police, because they had to check all those luggages that people were using, all the luggages that people had come with to travel. So I thank the community out there, that in this period of the issues of what we expected of terrorists, at least the people out there fought so hard, and the police, to see that we mitigate the issue, and we mitigated it 100%.
Okay.
Thank you.
Some of these buildings, big buildings in Kampala, are guarded by security officers who are not trained police officers. Do you think that could be a security issue in the future?
No, this it cannot be a security issue in future, because the PSOs, that is the private security organizations, are recognized, and they are given a go ahead by police, because we cannot clear a private security organization when we've seen that it is not matching to the standard. So we tell them on what to do, and they have done it, and we've emphasized that they avoid single deployments. So whenever we go out to where they have deployed, and we find single deployment. Single deployment means one gun.
Okay.
One gun. Even if you have security, even if you have private security personnel, even if you've deployed 4 private security personnel, but when they have one gun, that is a single deployment.
Okay.
So we've really questioned them on that, and whenever we get a single deployment, that one gun is taken, because ideologically in security, one gun keeps the other. So in case this other gun is taken, this gun fights and recovers this. But when there is only one gun, there is no other gun that will fight and recover this. So we've talked to them and we've emphasized. So when you see them on buildings, they have been cleared. They have been cleared by police. They have been cleared by the government to see that they keep people's properties.
Okay.
Yes.
Your last words to our people as we wrap up.
I would wish to thank the people out there. Please, police is there. We found the police. Police will be there. We shall leave the police. If you feel that there is anything that you feel that police has not done right, it is incumbent of you to see that police does it right. How are you going to do it? It is incumbent of you to see that you report. And whenever you report, these other police officers out there, whenever you keep quiet when something has happened to you, the police officer who has not handled you well will transfer that unprofessional, he will transfer the unprofessionalism from you to another person. But when you go out there to his supervisor, it will mitigate behavior. At the end of the day, the other person who will come will be handled. He will handle him the way he's supposed to handle him. So let's not stop. Whenever you have an issue, please, the office of the DPC, the office of the OC Traffic, the office of OC CID, the office of OC Station of the district, these offices are open. When you feel that the district has not assisted you, we have the RPC. But don't go to the RPC before you go to the district. Yes, you need to first go to the district, you address your issue. If you feel that the DPC has not assisted, that is when you can go to what? That is when you can go to the RPC. Okay. I thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being a part of Issues at Hand this morning. In case you were following us on our social media platforms, the conversation can continue, especially on YouTube, where we're going to post this subsequent video, also other videos that you will find for Issues at Hand. But it has been a very good morning, and I hope that we'll see you next week, same time, same show. My name is Kara Mani. Stay well. Bye-bye.